G'day YouTube, hope you're all having a great week. I thought I'd do a video today on setting up a greenhouse. Everything I've done to get this thing running and up and going. So I thought I'd start outside here. You can see here it's twin wall polycarbonate. This is just a cheap greenhouse shell. I think it was 4mm poly. It was just off eBay. If I'd bought this house, which unfortunately we're just renting, I would probably go and I'd pay the extra for a better quality with maybe 10mm polycarbonate walls. As you see, they're pretty flimsy. The buckling here is actually because I've hung too many plants through that section, and probably should have put a horizontal brace through the middle of here running the length of the greenhouse. So this one is what is it, 4.1 meters by 2.5 meters and 2.5 meters tall. One thing I will mention, which is very important, a bit loose at the moment, but these two straps you see here are anchored down to these buckets of concrete, and that is purely there to stop it blowing away. I have seen some horror stories of these things getting caught in wind before and not being strapped down, and they will blow away. So if you can't fix it down, fix the actual frame down to anything, I suggest that. You can see I've screwed on just a bit of garden bed liner here. It's because the guy that comes and mows the lawns here, supplied by the real estate, put the whippersnipper through the side of the greenhouse, which was annoying, but anyway, that's that. Another one, I might have gone for the sliding doors rather than the opening if I had time again, just because without this little latch here, this door will just blow open in the wind and gets a bit annoying. You'll see above here, this is just an exhaust fan that runs from inside there. That's drawing any hot air out of the top of the ridge of the greenhouse. Actually, before we go inside, a bit more on that in a minute. Here we've got mind the mess and my potting media full of water. This is a DIY humidifier. It's got a 12 head mister head in there and a 150mm fan. I've just put this cover on it to stop some of the leaves getting in there. I may redesign this a little bit. It needs a tougher box, but it's working for the moment. That's ducted in just with a bit of plumbing pipe here. So come inside. So the exhaust fan here, which you can probably hear, is on at the moment. It's plugged into an Inkbird thermostat. Now the temperatures are sort of dotting around on the video, but in real life they don't. They are set solid. So that is currently rigged up for the cooling. So if it gets above, this time of day is 20 degrees Celsius. In the middle of the day, I've got it set to 25 degrees Celsius. I will suggest, if you do get an Inkbird, get the Wi-Fi ones. They'll become a lot easier to set up once you figure it out, and you can just do everything off your phone. I've got this set to 4 different stages of temperature throughout the day, just to save on heating costs, and it gives a bit more of a natural rise and fall throughout the day. So you can see I've got the humidity one there as well, which just runs the thermostat. Yeah. So also plugged into the heating section on this thermostat. I've got a 2000 watt fan heater. Not the most energy efficient heating form. You can see there a big dried VCI picture. But it works, and I can keep the nighttime temperatures above 12 degrees in winter. Get some nights down to about 4 here in Sydney. And I will say this side of the greenhouse here stays very dry. There's a little bit of condensation on the walls, but none of this actually gets wet. Unfortunately, my air conditioner underneath that, I did jerry rig up a directional vent to blast it through the middle of the greenhouse. So that's not currently in use, being winter. But come summer, that runs and just keeps the greenhouse that bit cooler. So 28 degree days, and I can only get it down to 18, so it runs 18 at night. It seems to do it without too much issue. You can see I have actually run the greenhouse. I should redo the tape there, and actually I should do that properly with some plastic angle or something, but I've set it up like a window unit aircon. So it sucks in the drier, warmer air from outside, cools it, and then blasts the cool air through the greenhouse. You'll see I've got a few of these little fans in here. It's just circulating air. I could probably go, I think I'm actually going to order another 2. Maybe set one up on this side, and I might actually get a smaller one just to blow along under that bench for seedlings and highlanders, just to keep that airflow going. And I do have this set to 80% humidity, which is probably higher than it needs to be, but as you'll see around my greenhouse, I've got a lot of cuttings, a lot of seedlings up the back that are just germinating and things, so I tend to run it on a bit higher scale. There are a few plants I find definitely prefer it a lot higher, such as Jacquelineae. You see I decided to turn it down a little bit a while ago, and it got a bit sulky, and all the lids on the pitchers decided to abort. That's right, it'll come back. So through this level of the greenhouse for the setup, you'll also see these safety boxes. They're waterproof rated for outdoor use, so all my my power boards are run in there just to keep water off all the electrics for obvious reasons. I see the spider farmers running through here. These are rated to, I think, you don't quote me on it, but I think it's about IP67, which means you can actually dunk them underwater. Not that I'll try, but it just means that the humidifier, the misters, don't cause them any problems. See a little bit of rust on the cover here, but that's nothing to worry about. So I run 3 of them through there. This is mostly supplemental lighting. This time of day, the sun's just setting. You can see it over there. But I do get a lot of direct sun through here. I probably could set them on a timer and not have them on through the middle of the day, but I never really got round to figuring out the times for that. Below that, let's see on here, I've got the Mars Hydro TS1000s. I will suggest if you're trying to figure out lighting for a greenhouse, it's a good idea to experiment with a couple of different things. I had one of these Mars Hydros in my old greenhouse and loved it. These benches don't get as much sun, but because they are dimmable, I can play around with the settings and find the happy spot. in between it all. There is quite a bit of light die off, which is, although not so visible to the eye, but directly underneath here around my lowly eye, my big Raja at the back there, all this section is very bright. So I have been moving things around a little bit. You can see the Edwardsiana here got a bit burnt when I first got it, so things not enjoying as much light have been moved off to the side, and the more light loving plants are all mixed in around in the middle here. This nice little Aristolochoides is about to pop. I think I've actually dialed up this to about 75%. It was running at 50%, but after my experiment with scattering nepenthes around the greenhouse and testing the difference the lights get, I decided to try and push it a bit higher. Nothing's really burning yet. You see Tentaculata really colours up quite easy under the lights, and there's a little Linuata behind that. But that edge there, they've just moved over there, so they're getting less light now. So yeah, so these three benches are all the same setup. You can see I've run stainless steel cabling just attached through there with a tensioner through the middle, and thankfully this side's not buckled as much, but got my big Veitchii and things hanging through there. So I probably should have run a horizontal brace. I would have put it through here, fixed it to all the rafters. I may still do it and strengthen this back up, but it's holding together for the moment. Now I do have a misting system through here, which is just on a timer. I think in winter now it's running at about 20 seconds once every hour and a half. And I sort of turn it up and down as the seasons go. You see it runs through the middle here, helps with humidity, keeps the plants, the media a little bit damper. I don't really want all my plants being absolutely soaked, so occasionally I'll manipulate the angle of the heads, but I do find it just stops the media drying out too quickly between waterings. And I'll tend to use my live sphagnum as a guide, so I know when things are when it's getting a bit too dry. It's nice Humata platykyla about to pop there. I've recently reorganised this bench, probably since the last video, so it's mostly all smaller seedlings and little things that I'm growing out for myself. This other side here, which is predominantly medium to big plants, some of my big plants have started moving outside because I just don't have space here. There's some cuttings, a few plants getting sent out tomorrow. I haven't forgot about it, so hopefully there's some happy customers there. Yeah, I haven't put any lighting in here. It definitely shows. It does get more through that afternoon sun, but as you can see, the pictures, particularly this time of year, nice Truncata Edwardsiana, they're not colouring up as strongly as they did through summer, though some are. It's Rocco Boschiana Veitchii, Hose Mountain. I think this is the one I got off a mate of mine, Chow, up in Queensland. So this side just has the misting system running through here, and I've just staked up all my tall vines. You can see it's actually got three layers of the cable. I'm hanging all sorts of plants off that, and then down here Truncata epiphyata, which may have to move outside, but I'll see what I can do about keeping that in here. It's sort of slowly coming back from a repot. Yeah, as you got lots of female flowers in here, lots of new hybrids coming, which is exciting. My attempts to stop the flower hitting the ceiling, I've had to strap that differently. So this is my Lolii veitchii from John Yates, which has just been an absolute spectacular plant, and it's my second flower on it, so hopefully I'll have lots of hybrids using that coming in soon. At the back here is my sort of seedling shelves, and well, there's some cuttings, some seedlings needing potting out, a few other bits and pieces in here, some warm growing sundews. I'll have to get the names of them again because the permanent marker's faded. That's why I like to use my plant tags. A whole lot of seedlings there, cuttings, some a few things of my amazing girlfriend's plants in here. But back here I've just got cheap shop lights running over these benches. I will be upgrading these soon. I want to get a wider set of shelves in, just to fit a third tray across. There's another bunch of plants. These will be going out next week to Liam, which hopefully he'll be excited about. A nice platykyla, what is it? No, peltata platykyla picture there. All these shelves through here and above do have heat mats running in them, as well as I think here where I've got some seedlings I'm growing out for myself, my clipiatas, some veitchii cuttings, Babigii veitchii at the back there, another whole lot of seedlings there. So I do have heat mats there under the seedlings at the end there, growing out for sale, the bench above. So I do have a few heat mats through here. It's just to keep the plants a little bit warmer through winter. Probably only run for 3 or 4 months, and then I'll switch them off again. The only different shelf here is, this is my seed germination chamber, I suppose you'd call it. I've got a thermal roof blanket wrapped around the 3 sides. I could probably could do a better job at attaching that. And I've just draped this bit of clear plastic over the front to keep a bit more humidity in. You see there's a few more things, you know, ping and drosera, and all through there is all different seedlings, or seeds mostly, but some pretty cool stuff starting to germinate. So hopefully in a couple of years I'll be starting to release them. You see a nice little Wrigleyana upper there, and actually this is the first Wrigleyana lower I've seen. I might try and get a better light on that. Like that. Yeah, it's just something interesting. This is sort of just winding through here. Haven't decided whether I'm going to cut this or pot it out and find somewhere better for it to hang. Albo marginata up here. These are most of my lowland plants, which I don't really grow much of. Another nice Wrigleyana in there. There's an Ampullaria here. I do tend to try and keep my greenhouse more focused towards highland and intermediate plants. A great Lolii ventricosa here. I've got 2 of these. This one's stays more green and more candy striped. The other one, all through the uppers, get a lot more red colour, which I've actually moved that one outside. There will be more cuttings of these coming probably next year. I've just taken some recently, but you can see here That's just about to hit the ridge, crushing the leaves up, and the pot is all the way down there. So that's another one that I'm going to have to figure out how to move outside. I will show you, I do have the last section I got here is just some orchids, some anthuriums, a few bits and pieces. Nice phalaenopsis in flower there. I think there's another one coming there, squid orchid. Some variegated monstera cuttings, they're coming through. Those are my girlfriend's plants. They've got a big one inside. Yeah. So yeah, that's most of my greenhouse setup. There's nothing too fancy. If you're growing inside in a grow tent, you could set up very similar to this. Maybe take out the misting system. You may not need as big of a humidifier. But yeah, the fans, the lights, you would like a humidifier, air conditioning if you're in a hot climate, heating if you're in a cold climate. We go both ways, summer and winter. So I do mix it up throughout the seasons. You can see I've got the windows up here, which even when it's a bit warmer winter days with about 20 degrees, if it gets anything above that, I will crack those windows just a tiny bit to let some more hot air out, because the exhaust fan above the door there doesn't quite cool it down enough. But I think that'll be it for today. I hope you're enjoying the videos, and if you are, hit subscribe and like, and as always, let me know what you want to see, what you want to know more about. If there's anything you feel I've missed. What's behind me? It's the lowly veitchii flower rubbing on the back of my head there. We've actually got to do some more pollinating on that tonight, so you can see I've done quite a few hybrids on this, which I'm very excited about, including, which I think I know, my favourite plant in the collection at the moment, this stunning little veitchii, which is also flowering again. Yeah. Hope you all have an awesome day, and till next time. Cheers.